fight fans, so there's been some trash talking in the whole UFC world right now, with, of course, a guy who's been in the headlines for quite some time now, Ian Garry, and another guy who's also in the headlines. Well, actually, two guys that are also in the headlines always. Well, not always, but as of recently, Sean Strickland and DDP. Ian Garry pretty much said that he felt like that fight with DDP and Sean Strickland was trash, that, those guys pretty much look sloppy. He said a lot of crazy things. Of course, you already know Sean Strickland responded, and we already know DDP responded. So, these guys are pretty much always going to trash talk each other, which is really interesting because at the end of the day, Ian Garry is a welterweight. Sean Strickland and DDP are middleweights. DDP being your new middleweight champion of the world. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think Ian Garry is right, or do you think Ian Garry is just pretty much stepping out of line for trash talking these fighters? I personally believe he's out of line because, one, it's not even his division. It's not even his division, so he has really no business. I understand why he's doing it, because of course the back and forth trash talk that he's had with Sean Strickland. So of course he's trying to throw in some shots at him at any given time because of the back and forth these guys constantly had all last year. So yeah, I get that point. But for him to trash the fight, you're trashing a fight where you're not even at that caliber yet. Like, you're barely making your way in the top 10 in your own division. So it's not really appropriate, or I guess it's not your place to say anything on how a championship fight is until you're even close to that championship fight. And of course, it was a very awkward fight because at the end of the day, we all know this, styles make fights. You got Sean Strickland, who is pretty much a very accurate boxer with his Philly shell, and you got DDP, who's a little bit more wild with his punches, throwing some wild, crazy haymakers. A lot of them, of course, we saw that missed. So it wasn't as clean of a boxing match, but at the end of the day, or clean MMA fight, I should say, at the end of the day, it's still style makes fights. And I know what we're used to. We're used to seeing Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, who are pretty much phenomenal. I mean, top of their class when it comes to striking. Yeah, that might be something that we've been used to, is being the fact that Israel Adesanya was a champion for 3 years. So you can't necessarily compare the two. But at the end of the day, guess what? They're fighting for the championship belts. They're fighting for to become the champion, where Ian Garry is still trying his best to make his way towards that gold. He's trying to make his way to becoming the champion, or even fighting for that championship. So of course, by him saying something, I get why, but at the end of the day, he shouldn't be saying anything until he even gets close to these guys. And we all know, I don't feel Ian Garry is going to go anywhere near the middleweight division. I feel like he would have done so already. I feel like he actually should. After building up some really good momentum with Sean Strickland and their back and forth, that can actually potentially be a really good fight, and can actually potentially lead to him actually getting a title shot down the line. So yeah, I would love to see Ian Garry up there and go in the octagon with Sean Strickland. That would be a very fun fight. Hell, it would be even a very fun press conference. Good God, these guys would literally trade words with each other. It would be insane. It would definitely be insane, guys. So let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think about Ian Garry and his whole trashing the whole middleweight division, or not middleweight division, the middleweight title fight between DDP and Sean Strickland? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.